Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Five a Day. This week we're doing like the quickest run through ever on the beginning of Matthew's Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, and what we know as the Beatitudes. And Matthew 5 to 7, if you like, is a little section of teaching which, if that's the only bit of the Bible you know, and the only bit of the Bible you ever read, it gives you incredible insight into what Jesus taught, what Jesus' attitude was like, and what Jesus expects Christians to be, his followers to be like. It's a good way of measuring, well, what are these people like? Are they really followers of Jesus or not? Let's move away from the rhetoric, etc., but let's have an examination. Now, I don't mean that people don't fail and fall down and make mistakes, but these talks of attitudes, this beatitudes, these talks of consistent attitudes, not put on attitudes, but things that come from within and move with that. So we're going to look at the fifth and sixth of these today in a couple of minutes. Matthew 5:7, God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Mercy is a big thing in Matthew's Gospel, and it has two aspects here in terms of being merciful, and it certainly talks about forgiveness, and forgiveness is a big theme. We know that our Father will forgive us if we confess our sins, but there is one condition, that we forgive others. And so forgiveness is part of being merciful. We don't treat people as we think they deserve, and who are we to judge anyway? But hey, people do bad things. We certainly make judgments, don't we? But forgiveness is something that is at the heart of God. God approaches us and forgives us. The Bible says, even while we were sinners, Christ died for us. So forgiveness is very much at the heart of it. But also it means compassion. It means caring for those who are in need, caring for those who are suffering. And we have great opportunity always to be compassionate. And these times perhaps give us a better opportunity than ever to show that compassionate side. And again, we see that through Matthew's Gospel. Jesus talks about whoever gives as much as at least as a cup of cold water to one in my name, one of these in my name, is giving me something, is blessing me, is seeing me and me in my needs. That's how important compassion is. And verse 8 says, God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. When we think of pure, perhaps we're thinking in terms of morality, and sure, that's in there, that Jesus was morally pure. He was not corrupted. He didn't say one thing and do another. We say, well, it doesn't matter about our leaders' lives. It doesn't matter what they do behind closed doors and privately. We'll vote for them or whatever. But Jesus comes from a whole different tree. Jesus is completely different. Jesus, what he was, came out with what he did. He didn't have a public life and a private that was different. And so, yes, there is a moral purity there, but it's more than that. This speaks really more about a singleness of heart, a singleness of devotion, that we're purely given over to God, that Christian is purely following Christ, is purely got a heart that is not divided, but a heart that's after God, a heart that's given over to him, a heart that's devoted to him. You can like other people, you can be involved in other things, but there is only one whose heart that you've really given to completely. And so that's what the Christian is, one whose hearts are pure, devoted to God. And it says then they will see God. Corinthians, Paul talks about now we see like dark, through a glass darkly, through a distorted image, a kind of shadow image almost but the time will come when we will see as we have been seen, and we will see God. In the Old Testament, it says nobody can see God and live, but as followers of Christ, we become God's family, we become his sons and daughters, and we will have the privilege of seeing him. Yes, some of the benefits here come in this life and we see them, but actually, again, when we look at what Jesus is teaching, the reality of this all, the completion of this all, is yet to come. He's not teaching us to live just for the moment, which is very counterculture, isn't it? But he's teaching us to live in the moment for eternity. So we do live in the moment, but for eternity, because these are not words designed to make people go away in closed communities and wait until the end of the world. It's very much, as you read through Matthew 5-7, it's very much how to live for Christ in the world, in the middle of everything, and to make an impact and to touch people's lives and be a blessing as you go. So be a blessing today. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow as we conclude this whirlwind tour through the Beatitudes. God bless.